everyone. Thank you for being here. Today we are going to be running the webinar called Turn Your Passion into Profit. As you guys know, I've written a book on this topic, 22 Years of Entrepreneurship. I'm going to be sharing a lot of nuggets, a lot of things that will benefit you guys in one way or another. And I promise you by the end of the session, if you're not a little bit inspired, let me know. I owe you a coffee, okay? Or a lunch. Anyways, so the topic is Turn Your Passion into Profit. We want you to live your dreams and leave a legacy. There's no way you were born to just pay bills and die. How many of you agree with that term? You can write on the chat yes or no. Okay? Or if you're rewatching it, you can comment this as well. So a bit about myself. Global speaker, spoken 10,000 stage hours, 500 media interviews, impacted 1.2 million lives and counting, traveled to more than 37 countries, entrepreneur since the last 22 years. I know I look 25, 28, I am not, okay? And these are some of the works you see here on the left, starting from women empowerment to youth empowerment, awakening families, retreat coming up. We've got corporate trainings, executive coaching, and we are working with governments agency to not just focus on women empowerment. We want to scrap that term actually and introduce women of power and introduce the term humanity empowerment. So the work is very holistic, it's very wholesome, and it is something that we want to bring up to the world with each and every one of you to support you, to collaborate with you, and for humanity to step up basically, okay? Yeah. And a bit about the accolades. This is only some of them out of the last 20 over years, but some of my favorite highlight was from early this year, celebrating UAE's most inspiring and influential women for the Film Fair Middle East. That was a very nice win. And when I start talking about myself to people, I realized, oh yeah, I am an inspiring personality, and that's why I've been given this opportunity by God, a second chance, which you will be learning about, to step up and move from victim to victor and to share my journey to inspire one and all. Okay? So as a child, that's not my picture, but it looks something like how I was. I used to love going to school. I loved helping my teachers, my friends. I love art and craft. Swimming until this day is my thing, and it gives me so much joy. But deep within, I was a very angry kid. I think I'm still angry inside and still work in progress, all of us. Well, when I was born, or rather when I turned 1, my father left and my mom was there raising 6 of us almost single-handedly. I say almost because I have to give credits to my elder brothers and sisters who were there for all of us. But you know, as a child, you always dream of having a father figure. You wish there was an elderly someone you could call dad. And it was something that was always disturbing me. And even when I went to school, I never spoke about my dad until one day when I was in my secondary school, when I was in my teenage years. My teacher was talking and randomly she said, "Oh, Zai doesn't have a dad." I said, "No, he's alive." And 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 she was like, "Oh, I thought your father died." That was how much he was totally absent from my life. But I believe this would mean something to you guys. But if you look at this picture here, I felt like an abandoned house. I can't say old house, but abandoned. I was struggling with the wounds of abandonment, wounds of rejection. And this is things that you need to work on to fight that trauma and to heal inwardly to achieve success outwardly, okay? And as a child, I remember being the last child and some of my siblings were already married. And I saw how my mom was alone. She was working very hard, sewing clothes and pillowcases to send my brothers and sisters to the uni. And I'm like, wait a second, I need to do something else. I don't want to trouble my mom. So this particular pain or journey or experience of life is or was or is how I step up to turn my pain into power and moved into my journey of turning my hobby into money. Okay, guys, so this is the foundation of how turn your passion into profit started. And since 9 years old, I love doing art and craft, right? So I started making it and selling it to my friends in school. I used to help my friend with their artwork, and there was one rich boy who was really rich, and he used to carry all the branded stuffs, and he would pay me like, okay, take $20, and $20 many years ago was 30 over years ago was a lot. And he would just say, nah, take this and do that. So I started making money since I was 9. And then when I went to college, Polytechnic, I was the president of the Makeup Artists Club. And that was when I was introduced to the henna artistry, which I brought to school, and people knew me as the makeup artist, as a henna artist. And then my first name card was made by my friend. I think she used Photoshop or something. And then I don't know how she did it, printed it for me and helped me. At that time, it started with just a pager. I didn't even have a handphone, but somehow I was 20 years old, and thanks to the henna artistry, my cousin actually introduced it to me. So this is tip number 1, how you can turn your passion into profit. Ready? You can record. I'll be sending the recordings to you guys, but you can take notes and ask me questions anytime after this. So my cousin brought a henna supply, the kit and design. And one evening she came, Zai, I have a wedding to attend. Can you please draw henna for me? I was like, no, I've never done it before. That would be a natural reaction, right? And that's what I exactly did. And then she said, no, I think you can do it. And I'm like, no, people always draw it for me. I don't know how to do it. She's like, no, you can. And when she insisted, I'm like, okay, let's do it. And I started drawing like full palm and then the front of her hands. And she was so happy. She gave me $50, guys. And $50 again, many years ago, was a lot of money. And it was a good start. And that's when I was introduced to henna art accidentally. And guess what happened? I was still in school, right? I was doing makeup, henna, and everything. Just before I graduated, I met a friend who saw me doing the henna. And she's like, you know what? You need to take this to Japan. Let me show you the flag of Japan here. Took me to Japan. And she said, if you do this in Japan, she used to live there. And she said, if you do this in Japan, you're going to make a lot of money and it's going to be so fun. I'm like, okay, let's do it. We'll just go for 2 weeks and see what happens. So a 2-week stay in Japan led to a 6-month stay. I was doing henna art, street art, guys, teaching henna art to the Japanese with very little language. I had to learn it at that time. I used a dictionary. There's no Google Translator, nothing. And it became a 6-month stay because people wanted to learn. People wanted to feature us on the news. I was on the Tokyo FM. My very first interview when I turned 21 in Japan was on Tokyo FM, Zip FM Nagoya. Ami magazine was a cultural magazine. And when we got featured in that magazine, that was the best part. Event organizers started calling us and said, would you like to do henna at my events? And that's how things grew. They were on TV, on news, on local paper. And when I came back to Singapore, I became the celebrity henna artist because the media in Singapore, I'm from Singapore, by the way, I live in Dubai now. The media in Singapore, they picked up my story and they said, you know what, it's so cool that two Singapore girls brought henna to Japan and we want to feature you again. It was like a ripple effect. One TV interview, another newspaper, and then this, that, and it just grew. So the henna business was registered. I will share with you about the process of how a lot of people complain they have no time, no money, no idea. This was a lot of example of when someone keep asking you to do something, that is like one of the biggest sign that God is calling upon you to do that task, okay? So while I was doing henna, I was getting all this celebrity fame and media, friends traveling around the world. Now, my magic question to you is fame and money everything? Okay, you can write on the chat box or you can just reflect on this. Is fame and money everything? Because as I was enjoying all the fame and stardom, money and traveling, friends and parties, guess what happened? I realized that I was traveling, right? I had money, I had a Singapore passport, I could go anywhere I wanted to. I bought my first digital camera in Japan, I remember. And I wasn't happy, guys. I wasn't happy. I was, I think, 22, 23 at that time. And then I started reflecting on life. How is the REHTM is something that is a very universal problem that a lot of us go through. Let me share with you, what is it? Like, huh? Nah. R is relationship. How is our relationship with ourselves, with others, and with God? Okay. And emotional instability. I was going through that a lot. Sometimes I'm happy, sometimes I'm sad, sometimes I don't want to meet people, sometimes I want to go and party and meet everyone. How many of you struggle with that? And then that led to a lot of health problems. I didn't realize, but I was struggling with gastric, a lot of migraines, knee pain, and I was so young. I was like, what's wrong with me? I didn't analyze or overanalyze. I just like went with the flow, but there was so much of problems that was weighing heavily on me. It was so annoying to the soul, but I didn't realize. And then I was losing a lot of time, right? Because I was sick. I was trying to just float around and see what I can make out of life. And then of course, a lot of people think they don't have time and they don't have money. Money is an issue because you keep spending on. So I've been to 38 countries now. So I spent a lot on traveling because every 1 month I had to go away to overcome my stress or whatever that I was running from. So money was just flowing away and I didn't even realize. And before I knew it, I didn't heed the sign. And then I refused to listen to my heart. This slide is especially for all of y'all listening to this. When something is not okay, do we truly listen to our heart? Or do we overanalyze, overthink, and get absorbed or sponged into that problem? What do we do? Do we listen to our heart, our soul, our mind? So when I was going through all of this, I didn't listen to my heart. I just let it go. I thought, this will pass, this will pass, this will pass. Nah. On 22 April 2005, I met with an accident, fractured, dislocated my spine, and the taxi driver hit the back of an army trailer, which caused me to be immediately sent to the emergency room. And I had to go through surgery. And this on your image on your left is my spine before the operation, the fracture and dislocation. Doctor said I will never be able to walk anymore. Even after the operation, 95% of the chance is I will not be able to walk anymore. 95% of the chance. And to top that up, he gave me a letter of permanent disability, which says, Zai will not be able to go out to work. Take a moment to digest that and look at those 8 screws to metal rods still present in my spine. If that was you, touch wood, but if that was you, what would you have done? You can reply on the chat box. I would love to see it later. Okay. This really happened, April 2005. A year into the accident, everything was still the same. Remember the REHTM? Relationships were in and out, emotional instability still not okay. Health-wise, of course, I was recuperating. Got bored. I told the doctor, please, I need to learn to walk again. I was bored. And then lost time, lost money. And then I asked myself, 1 year into the accident, what is this? Why didn't I die from the accident? What does God want from me? Like, what is this truly? What should I do? That was when I said to myself. So for you guys listening to this, if you are sick and tired of life, you are so sick and tired of being sick and tired, I think you know what I mean. And you want to make a change or you want to try something, but you're too afraid. Are you ready to say enough is enough? Yes or yes? Please write on the chat box. Are you ready to say enough is enough? Do you accept that you want to say enough, or are you going to decline this offer? Are you ready for wealth? Wealth is not just monetarily. Peace of mind. Inner peace is the new luxury. Money, time, luxury of sleep. Are you ready to restart, and rebrand yourself? Are you going to say, no, this is not going to work for me, and I'm just going to keep complaining? So when this happened to me at this stage, I said, enough is enough. And that's how I decided to move from victim to victor. Okay, so the webinar agenda today is my journey from pain to power, which I've kind of shared with you. There's so much more things that happen, of course, after that, but I kept reusing the same thing, moving from victim to victor, my formula of truth, which I'm going to be sharing with you, and then I can turn my passion to profit. And then I can turn dreams into reality with confidence and clarity. Do you agree? So one moment you move from victim to victor, you want to understand what are some of the things that is truly stopping you. How will you get started? How are you going to work on your power of personal branding? And then I'm going to share with you at the end of this webinar, your first $1 million blueprint. How do I get there? And I dare to say I have done it before with my companies and my businesses, because then how do I travel all these places, live in any part of the world and do what I love? What I love, loving what I do, right? So now, why do we want to even bother about learning all this stuff? Because at the end of the day, to be the star human that you are, you want to focus on your well-being. You want to be compensated, and you can benefit not only yourself and others. Then you want to see your purpose, and you can build your career around what you love and loving what you do. Not necessarily to be the entrepreneur or the business person. Do you have an entrepreneurial mindset at work? These are things that we include in our corporate training and high impact leadership programs. Okay, so, and also the art of pursuing your dreams, turning dreams into reality, to step up, it starts, guys. It's not about motivation, positivity, and blah, blah, blah. It is how healing transformation coaching can help you. What will healing transformation do for you? Healing transformation is inside out. Help you move from being emotional to exercising divine energy emotion. Turning pain to power, moving from victim to victor, moving from hate to love, to be the queen and king of God's kingdom. Until when? We have amazing women, and then we have low quality men or lack of quality men. And then we have amazing men who are healthy in relationship, mind, everything. And then we have all these women around them who is not helpful. We need to work on humanity empowerment. And that's why Step Up Journey is here. Okay, so for you guys, apply this for you first and then go out to help the world. Or you can parallelly do it. Okay, so once I broke my spine, I said, okay, I want to move from victim to victor. My mission and my vision was to empower, educate, and enrich the world. I said 1 million at a time. Every past 1 million, which is interesting. And next step is billion, right? So my mission and my vision was to empower, educate, and enrich the world. Guess what happened? When I decided that, almost everyone thought I was crazy. No, you can't. You are such failure. You are this, you are that. It's mission impossible. It felt like everyone was against what I wanted or what I could potentially do. Guess what Miss Zai did? I was very confused, right? Because of course I would listen to people around me, but at the same time, I knew deep within what I stood for and what I'm capable of. So I moved from confusion to clarity, which I'll be inviting you to a clarity call whereby we can have a quick chat for you to strategize. What is it you want to do? Because I've learned that there is a I want to say a huge fine line. There is a huge fine line between failure and success. Very, 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 very fine line between failure and success. And that is where we come out to share with the world that you are able and you can step up to do whatever you want to do with faith and love. And when I decided I wanted to empower, educate, and enrich the world, I had to first empower myself. I had to work with coaches, mentors, therapists, what have you not. I had to educate myself. I invested in more than $100,000 to get to where I am today, become a certified Gallup strengths coach, who is not cheap, $10,000 to work with all these brands, coaching, mentor, blah, 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 at least minimum 120K, and losing money throughout the business journey so much, 80, 100, 200K, I don't know. just throw money because you didn't have mentor or guidance. I wanted to enrich myself. And truly, from all those people who said, no, you cannot, from all my personal self-doubt, I said, no, I'm going to do it. And truly, I was featured again on the media. This is something I want to share with you guys, how to get featured on media for free. She fought to walk again after a car crash left her with a broken spine. And then when I launched my books, she broke her spine, but not her spirit. And then the Channel News Asia interview, they called me, today she's the Oprah Winfrey of Asia, best-selling author, international speaker, entrepreneur, and traveling trainer. Because there was a rebel with a cause in me that said, I am going to do this. I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. Enough is enough. So I'm inviting you to also think about, what do you want to do that could leave a legacy? Okay? And not only will we feature on media, of course, there were a lot of things that we've done. A powerful testimony by Madam Halimah Yacob, the President of Singapore. Congratulations on your publication. Listening to you, I feel greatly inspired. I hope you guys listening to me are already inspired, and you're sure that people will be inspired by your story. And there's nearly, not millions, maybe hundreds of testimonies that people have written and posted on the Google review, on the website, on the LinkedIn, everywhere, WhatsApp messages, yeah? And this is the fuel. And this is bragging rights, guys, by the way. Do not feel ashamed to share these things, because this is your work, which is being mentioned by people. You don't have to wait until the day you die at your funeral to hear your eulogy, if you can hear it or not, I don't know. But this is a sign. These are things people are going to write about me after I die. So this is something that I'm inviting you to. You can already receive. Learn to receive. You want to give. A lot of people, you want to give. But you are such a poor receiver. These are things you must heal from. Okay? So now the question is, are you ready to learn more, to turn obstacles into opportunity, to step up and think out of the box, to overcome personal mindset barriers? Because if you want to do it, and if I can do it, so can I support you too. And that's why we are here to help you to turn your story into success, right? So a lot of times, this is a very common thing that I hear. How many of you can guess what this image is about? A lot of people, when they want to step up to do something, very convenient, you know. I have no money. I need a big capital to get started. I have no idea what I want to do. I gave you some ideas earlier how I started. I will share later how I started my hijab business with no money, very little money actually. And a lot of people complain, I have no time. But you have time to scroll on social media and do other things that is not truly serving you. So no money, no idea, no time can be converted to have money, have idea, and not only to have time, to have health, and to have love. Love for yourself, love for others, because I cannot be doing a free webinar or presentation and going out there, giving out the books and planning to go to Africa. We're going to go to Kosovo, Riyadh, and all these places if you don't have passion in what you do, right? So you will have money, you will have the idea, and all of the above. Inshallah, I'm going to share with you now how. So step one, guys, is to work on your brand. How about personal branding? Do you know? So it's called the 3D system, okay? The first D is to diagnose your strengths and identity. Knowing who you are through the Gallup Strengths Finder, which I use as part of one of my coaching segments. Who are you? Why are you here? What can you build to impact many lives? You can start with impacting one life, and then you know how to make it 5 and 10 and then 100 and 1,000 others, 1,000,000 others. Okay, build your brand, because that is your legacy. And you need to start today. Because for how long have you been saying, I want to do this. Okay, I will do this. Okay, I will do this. So step one, build your brand, okay? Step two, a lot of people say, okay, no money. Let me share with you how the henna business happened. I told you earlier, my cousin came, did the henna, first $50. And not only that, 2 weeks later, she came again, brought henna again. And then I drew And again, she gave me money. That was the start of, I'm like, dude, this thing can make me money. And then when I met the accident, a year into the accident, I started learning, relearning life, and I started searching for God. That was when I was inspired to wear the hijab. And then the birth of the hijab business, the Miztiq Shopee, was very interesting. I was traveling, I was in Singapore. I was traveling to town to look for some modest fashion. And this, guys, is not today. Today, modest fashion is everywhere. So this was 18 years ago, or 2006, is long time ago, 18 years ago. I went to town. I couldn't find anything suitable, pretty. And I used to model. I'm not going to look like an auntie wearing the hijab. No. So I said, okay, let me think. How do I figure this out? And then I was traveling. I had a chance to go to London, Cyprus, Syria, one of the travels, as I was inspired to wear the hijab. I found some nice stuff. I bought extra, put it up on my Facebook when I returned, and boom, I made my first $25 in 5 minutes. In the first 5 minutes, I'm like, this is going to work. So I was going to share with you, how do you think out the box? How do you solve your problems and be a solution provider? These are things I share in my books, in my online masterclass, in my coaching. How to develop your craft. If you love baking, if you love cooking, if you love sewing, what is your craft? What is your innate strength and nature? And how traveling can make you money. I just showed you how with the Miztiq Shopee brand. Same thing. When I was in Morocco, I saw those uncles wearing this beautiful kaftan, you know, the jalaba, the Moroccan jalaba is just so gorgeous. And I started taking pictures, not of them only. I took pictures of them when they were not looking. And then I went to the shops and I took some pictures, put it again on my Facebook. I had like 20 people order, 20 pieces. I made like $50 per piece. $50 times 20 is, you do the math. It's $1,000. Flight paid for. Then I was doing my hijab business for 4, 5, 6 years. I got bored and I said, you know what? I have a lot of money in my bank account now. What's next? I was already feeling restless back in Singapore. And I said, no, I need to travel now. And I said, okay, let's go learn Arabic. Arabic, the language, not aerobics. So I went to Jordan, Morocco, Yemen. So Jordan to learn Arabic. I knew Assalamu alaikum and Inshallah, Alhamdulillah, the things that we say in our prayers and zikr. But when I went to learn, it was so tough. Even before I went to the Arab Middle East, I tried learning it in Singapore. It was very hard. Okay, listen, okay? How you start with nothing. Very simple. There was a problem. I tried learning in Singapore. It was so hard. All the teachers who taught me made it so difficult. They made me feel like I was the stupidest person on earth. I was like, why is shaitan disturbing me when I want to learn Arabic, right? Because I wanted to understand the Quran, because I want to understand what I read in my prayers. I said, okay, I will travel and learn. And then every single day, I cried on my way home because it was so difficult. 4 hours of intensive class, go home, I have to do homeworks, I have to remember 50 to 100 words a week. And all my classmates are doing very well because I'm a slow coach. That's what my teacher used to call me, and I believed him. So I thought I was a slow coach for the longest time. And when I was slow, I told myself, you know what? I'm going to learn this thing and make it so easy to teach it to others, and others will learn it easily. So that's me turning my problem into a solution. And then when I came back to Singapore after Yemen, I was invited by the SMU, Singapore Management University, to teach Arabic business conversation to the students. There was like 15 or something students. And by the end of 6 to 8 sessions, they could present themselves in 2 to 3 minutes of introduction in Arabic. So did I turn my problem into a solution? Yes. Did I turn my solution into a solution provider? Yes. And were there many people out there who could speak Arabic and teach Arabic in Singapore? Yes. But why was I invited to do that assignment? Because personal branding. Because I decided to go learn and come back and believe that I was going to create a read, write, speak Arabic program. Did I take the first step first? This is something I want to invite you guys to do, taking the first step first. Okay? And then, coming back from Yemen, Step Up Journey is an accidental business. This last 10 years of Step Up Journey was how the birth of, let me show you, turn your passion into profit happened. I came back from Yemen because my mom gave me a red card. At that time, she was alive. She passed on 5 years ago. At that time, she was alive. She gave me a red card. She says, Zai, please come back to Singapore. Stop traveling and start traveling after I die. Like, do what you want after that. So I said, okay, mommy, I'm coming. Came back. I was praying to God. What do you want me to do? What do I do in Singapore? Like, I don't want to go back. I prayed upon it. The answer I had was serving God is in serving His creation. I'll say that again. Serving God is in serving His creation. When I realized that, I said, okay, tell me what to do, God. Okay, fine. Went back to Singapore for 10 days. Everyone asked me, how do you travel so much? How do you start your business? How do you do this? How do you do that? How do you learn to walk again? It was like a repeated thing. Like I still have a very strong following on my Facebook. People I meet at events. There was one lady I met at an event. She followed me and connected with me on Facebook. And on the 10th day that all this questioning and question answers were happening, she wrote to me, says, Zai, I want to speak to you. I'm like, okay, let me call you. You know, I just called her. And she was talking, we were speaking. In 10th minute, she said, Zai, thank you for speaking to me. I was just thinking to commit suicide. And I feel better now. At that moment, guys, I thought I was gonna die, but I had to keep cool, right? I had to be cool for someone who was thinking to commit suicide. And I said, you know, sister, if you need something, just give me a call. I'm here. I hang up. But then I said, God, what do you want me to do? That's how the birth of this baby happened. I share how you turn your pain into power, how you turn your passion into profit, how you turn your dreams into reality of confidence and clarity. And today, this book, we already converted it into a Braille edition, which means it's supporting the visually impaired and the blind. 2 days ago, someone wanted to order for her blind nephew in the Netherlands, and it's produced in Uzbekistan. I will share a video if you want to know more about this. The first book led to the second book, led to speaking engagements, mentoring, coaching, speaking. And here we are today, 10 years later, serving greatly, making an impact. No matter where I am, this is it. Like the amount of satisfaction you get and fulfillment from knowing your purpose and trying your best to put your message out there, because your mess, guys, is a message for the masses. You have to believe this. Nothing happened to you for nothing. Wow, I need to write that down. Nothing happened to you for nothing. Can someone write that on the chat box? So God did not create you in vain. And this is just one slide of a story. But what about you? Don't wait for the perfect condition. Start where you are. How do you get started? I'm going to share with you. See, fear. What's truly stopping you? Fear. Fear of success, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of loneliness, fear of death, fear of being alive. Fear is that F word that is not going to go away from you. But when you can identify the obstacles, you will gain the strategies to overcome them. And this is something I share as well and I coach people with. Okay? So your only limit is your mind and your willingness to step out there to take the first step first. Are you ready to break free and start today? This is my question to you. Okay? So personal branding, overcoming your fear, starting with little or no money, starting with no idea, knowing you have no idea you have a talent, right? Someone can help you unleash that talent, like my henna, for example. So presenting yourself to the world, personal branding and media presence. Media presence, I don't mean all this social media fluff thing. This is very fluff, and we can be more strategic about the impact and the outcome we want to achieve. Okay, how are you seen? How are you heard? How are you known? How do you step up into the spotlight? You are there. How do you get there? You don't even realize. So if you want to learn how to get on media, how to have your profile and corporate deck done, if you need help with book writing, because when you write, it also shows you as a subject matter expert. Be it an author, be it and be in authority. That's one of the coaching programs we have. If you want templates for presenting your story, profile, book cover, what have you not, I have placed all of this on my online masterclass, and reach out to me anytime you want a link to that. Okay, so strategies for building wealth from your passion. Remember, your $1 million journey starts with one step: ready to take it. Are you ready to get to your first $1 million blueprint? That's my question to you. So a lot of people, they think, oh yeah, I want to have a business. I just want to make a lot of money, a lot of this, a lot of that. I want to be famous and everything. Remember, fame and money is not everything. But how do you get to your first $1 million? Let's talk about it. Are you even comfortable saying, I want to be a millionaire? No, I am a millionaire. I am a billionaire. I am a multi-millionaire. And a lot of times, many of the wonderful-hearted, compassionate, empathetic friends and connections I have, we shy. I say we because I struggle with the same. Learning to negotiate, asking for my fees and renegotiating. I tell you what, we are shying away from making money because we want to look like we are some people pleaser and like we are some angelic whatever. But you know, when you have money, you can print books, you can sponsor people, you can do so much. You can live the lifestyle you want. Living in the heart of Dubai is basic luxury. You can choose what you want and what you don't want. If you don't want to sleep on the bed, you can sleep on the floor. It's choices that you can make. So let me share with you how to get to your first million. How many of you are excited? Say excited, types excited. Again. So if you want to get to your first $1 million, let's say you want to sell a product worth $100. Okay? $100. Yeah, that's a bird Charlie for you. You can see that. $100 times 10,000 person, or selling $100 product to 10,000 people will make you your first $1 million. You want to write this down. $100 to just 10,000 people. Or make it easier. If you have $1,000 product, you just need to find 1,000 person to get to your first $1 million. I didn't realize this, guys. I only realized this when I received my award by the Chamber of Commerce in Singapore, Honorary Business Awards to the top 60 SME. I kept questioning myself. I said, oh, why am I receiving this award? What have I done? Right? And before I went to that dinner, the gala dinner and stuff, I remember I took my mom as well. I sat myself down and asked myself, have I sold my hijab business and my henna business together? Have I made my first $1 million? Yes. If I had a $200 average sale from the henna and hijab business, have I reached out to 5,000 users? Yes. More. So this is how you calculate, how you have a goal, then strategize how to get there. But the first step first, knowing who you are, getting past your past, the healing transformation, desire check, knowing what is it you want. Maybe you don't want to be a millionaire, you just want to make $2,000 a month and you're fine. Okay, fine, I'm happy for you. Right? Desire check. And then decide, how do I get there? And this is something that I'll be very happy to work on with you to get you there. I said it. Identify your strengths, 3D system, because your talent is your currency. Are you ready to invest in yourself today to have the wealth, the success, the growth that you deserve? Don't shy away from this, especially you guys listening to this. I know you are very kind and compassionate. You care about the world. You care about your family. Do you truly care about yourself? Please, I invite you, I plead with you to really take care of yourself. Work on the inner healing, step up your game, gain the appreciation, respect, have the honor and dignity to move forward strong, soulful, and successful. Okay, so a little offer, a little mention about my masterclass. They are all on my website, stepupjourney.com. And you will have the e-school there. You will see all the various coaching programs, the Turn Your Passion into Profit online masterclasses on a special limited time offer as well. Go get it. I won't show the screen to you. Go to stepupjourney.com. This is you taking the first step first. I've done my part. Okay. And I will add a bit more of inspiration and more nuggets. And then I will leave you guys with Q&A. So, financial freedom, next exit. Are you ready to take action? Your passion is waiting to become your profit. So let's speak and turn your dreams into reality, inshallah. Tamam? And before we end also, ask yourself, what are your dreams and goals? Because a lot of people, as you grow up, you forget about your dreams and your goals. What are your fears and frustrations? Do you have to put on all these multiple faces, masks, because you have this broken heart and you just need to hide? You're not able to say no. You're not willing to invest in yourself to learn. And then passing it on to your sons and your brothers and your husbands. They too need to learn and step up. Then you can heal. Then you can be free. And then the boys can step up, the men can step up instead of going through all this anxiety and what have you not. How do they move to feel liberated, optimistic, victorious with empathy? To have self-love, to have self-respect before they can even respect you. So in my books and stuff, the Mystic Formula of Truth is the 5 chapters in my book, Turn Your Passion into Profit. If you want, we can do a little exercise. Truth actually spells think. You can see the little girl, think. And then the lady here, what do you think she's doing? She's reflecting. And then U is to understand. T is to take action, right? So you can have clarity to take action. And H, to heal others. I invite you to heal others. But before you heal others, you want to heal whom? Yourself. Okay? And these are some of the tools I do in my I share in my entrepreneurial mindset program. It's a very powerful strategic problem-solving decision making skills. So this in itself is a whole workshop. It can be a 3 hours, can be a 3 days, can be a 12-session program, and yeah, there's so much that we can do. Okay, so some of the tip about applying the Mystic Formula of Truth, which is from my book, Turn Your Passion into Profit, is think, what are the challenges or problems you wish to resolve or a goal you want to achieve? Reflect, what is the best desired outcome? Reflect, because you need to know what you want. Understand what are the available resources and capabilities. What are the knowledge, skills, abilities, KSA, not Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. What are the knowledge, skills, abilities, and what you have, what you need to outsource, get support from, who is it? Take action. How do you discuss and communicate with your family, with yourself, with others? How do you heal others? How do you help yourself first? How do you heal others? You make sure your intention is aligned with your whatever you want to do. So many types of it. It can be done. It's coachable and you can apply it for life. It's a life skill for a lifetime. Okay, I want to take Q&As uh, so I can breathe a bit. Yeah, I can stop recording or pause recording, right? Let me see how do you guys have any questions? Anyone? Recording? How did I make this thing disappear? Hide floating. Yeah, brilliant. Today I learned something new. You see, I didn't know I could hide those commands for Zoom. Today, just 30 minutes ago, I learned this. So Q&A, we'll take it after this. But yeah, okay, now you will know how to answer those questions as well. How many of you are tired of wasting your time and you want to take action? It all starts with the small steps. Like someone who say, oh, I'm the last child. I cannot make my own decision. No, I'm also the last child. I took the decision. I have 8 screws to metal rods on my back. I want to learn how to walk again. I didn't say, okay, doctor, I will be paralyzed for life. I could have. Then I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today. But these are things I need to understand from you. What is truly stopping you? Remember the earlier slide? Is it fear? Is it just choice to, oh, I don't care, I cannot, I just want to complain because of my culture, because of I have this, I have... There's 10 million reasons we can give to ourselves. But we can start with one potential opportunity that can happen for us. And you being on the webinar is already a big thing. Congratulations for showing up. Okay? And the thing about making the change, are you ready to zero your cup? Because what I mean, if your cup is filled with a lot of all these things, right? The belief system, the programming, the fear, and it's all filled up. Are you ready to say, you know what, enough is enough? Where's the new cup? First step first. Saying enough is enough. I want to live life differently. I want to brand myself differently. I want to step up. How many of you dare to even say that and want to say that? There is a way. Okay? So if you need help with anything in this space of having your questions answered, more info if you want to know about how the mentoring work, the coaching work, the online masterclass is easy. Just go to the eSchool, choose what you like, have a chat with me first before you enroll so that I know that is the perfect course for you. And that is what I want to invite you to. This. Look at this. This mess, this red line, how do you figure things out and have clarity to walk on a nice straight path? اهدنا الصراط المستقيم on your step up journey. Because clarity precedes success. When you have clarity, that is your first step first. Because until you don't get past all of this and you keep thinking about the pain, about this, is strangling your mind, you know, strangling your mind and being bonded to the pain instead of saying, nah, let's throw that, heal from that. I want to do this. How do I do this? There is a way. So I want to invite you guys, before you even go to the eSchool or ever, calendly.com/𝐸Miztiq. Just book a call, spend 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes and speak to me, and I would love to show you what can be done. I have some free coaching, I have some free videos on my YouTube, I will share with you the links. I have some paid programs, I have some paid mentoring programs. There's audiobooks, ebooks, whatever it is, I will suggest to you. Or if this is something that I really cannot help you with, I would love to refer you to some of my coaches or my therapist friends. Okay, so just book the call. It's free of charge. There is nothing you will lose. Okay? So guys, I came to the end of my presentation. I want to thank you all for being here. That's my website. Those are the 2 books we have written. If those of you who are listening and would love to purchase the books, you can write directly to me on stepupjourney.com, drop a WhatsApp. There is also a WhatsApp link on the website, so feel free to connect or go Amazon link and get it. If you're in Dubai, Singapore, it's better to get it by hand. But if you're in other parts of the world, just write to me on the WhatsApp and our team will figure that out for you, which is the best way forward. Okay, so this is it. Big change came with a big chance for you to step up. And the big chance that you take for yourself will grant you the big change. The question is, how badly do you want it? Do you want it? Okay, so this is a bit about the website, the eSchool. You can log in with your name, password to have access to everything. There are some features that you don't have to log in. You can look through it. And then again, this is what I end with. Invitation for a free 30 minutes discovery call, calendly.com. That's the WhatsApp QR code. Or simply just go to the website. You will find all of this. And I thank all of you for being here. Just remember that the arrow that we keep saying, oh, this is my destiny. Yes, destiny, qadar, qada wa qadar. Like God has written stuff for us. But it's up to our choice how we want to move forward. It's not only about destiny. You have to take personal responsibility. Allah says in the Quran, I cannot change a man until he choose and decide to change himself. تغير بنفسك. You have to make that informed choice that you want to step up. Then magic will happen, inshallah. So guys, take charge of your life. How many of you are ready to take charge